What is going on, everyone? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. This is a video that is just spur of the moment. It is about 11 o'clock on a Tuesday evening, and I am just like, no better time to make a video than now. I was thinking, I was like, you know what, I don't have anything to film today. Maybe I'll take the day off. And I was like, nope, I'm gonna put this video out because I just need to talk about the Trans Am. I'm in love with this car, and you guys need to know where this build is going, so that's what we're gonna talk about today. Not a lot of action. We're gonna talk about where this is. I'm gonna ask for a lot of input from you guys because I'm gonna say, hey, this is kind of what I have in mind. What do you guys want to see? Now, that being said, remember, this comes out of my pocket here. So when you guys say, I want to see twin turbos with a blower and throw a Pro Charger on there and then do a shot of gas, a little bit unrealistic. I already have the power adder and everything figured out, but what I do want your input from is manufacturers. What kind of rear end you guys want to see, what kind of transmission, from your experience, what do you guys run? So I want to see a lot of activity in the comments. I need your help. I'm asking for your help, and I'm excited to make this video. So let me get the whiteboard set up. It is somewhere in here underneath all of the Trans Am parts. It could honestly be anywhere. So before we get started, I'm making some room for the whiteboard, clean it up a little bit. I've got to put some things in the vehicle that have to go down to the fab shop with it, such as a motor plate, the interior panels that I'm going to keep, and then in that box down there is the front end kit from Rock Solid Motorsports. You guys have heard me talk about it a lot. I'm probably the most excited to see that go on the car because that's really going to be like, holy shit, we're race carring. Big shout to Steven and the guys over there at Rock Solid Motorsports. I'll have a link in the description. Check that out. If you're doing anything F-body and you need more room, more clearance, or lightweight, which I definitely recommend all of those things, check them out. That is exactly what you need. So the only other thing that's got to go in the car, and that seems like a lot of stuff I'm putting back in the car. The only other thing I need to take with me is somewhere under there. These are all the stock parts. If you guys need like a coolant reservoir, a bumper, a radiator, whatever, I got you covered. Somewhere under there are the stock headlight buckets with motors and everything, so I'm gonna need to take those with me because this is a Trans Am. It's a little more difficult than a Camaro. I never thought I'd be a Trans Am guy, but I kind of like the Trans Am over the Camaro, something a little bit different. Let me get the whiteboard set up. We'll dive into this video. All right, guys, so I apologize. The lighting's not perfect. If I look like I'm cross-eyed, it's because I have like a massive spotlight right here. So we're just going to power through this. Let's start this off with the Salty Chicken 99 Trans Am. That's what we're working with here. What I got going on so far, I'll just write that right underneath it here. I have a PA Racing, got a PA Racing front end. That includes uppers, lowers, K-member, and a manual steering rack. Along with that, I have AFCO shocks, and that's about it for the front. Now, what else I have that's not on the car, like I mentioned before, is the Rock Solid Motorsports front end. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. PA Racing, very good stuff, lightweight chromoly. AFCO shocks, very good shocks. Rock Solid Motorsports front end, we're gonna chop off a lot of that stock boxed frame and all that heavy front end weight, and we're going to put tubular chromoly there. So as you can see, we're going with lightweight. All this stuff can be driven on the street and at the track. So let me clean this up and we'll get into where we're going with it next. All right, so now that you guys know what I have already for the vehicle, we're going to kind of branch off. I'm gonna give you guys some options. I'm gonna start with the big ticket items, transmission, rear end, stuff like that, and I'm gonna give you some options that we can go with. Now, this is where I want your input. Drop a comment what you think. If you guys have experience, if you guys have built an F-body before, let me know. Let me know from your experience what's worked, what you've done, what you would have changed, and that's gonna help me kind of decide where we go with the car. So, first off, the first thing we do, we're gonna make a lot of power. We need to get to the rear end, we need a transmission. Now, there's two types of transmissions that I'm gonna look at here for this car. There's many more than that. I mean, we're gonna talk about automatics, manuals. We can go on and on for days of what's a good transmission that's gonna hold some power. The two different kinds that I'm looking at right now are TH400 and a Power Glide. So right here we got the 400 and the Glide. The difference between the two is one's gonna have a little bit longer first gear, one's gonna have 2 gears, the other one's gonna have 3 gears, and you can kind of pick and choose what first gear you want. The Cow has a TH400 in it, it's a 3-speed automatic. Everything that I'm gonna do is gonna be a manual valve body, so you do have to shift it. And the TH400, you have options. You can go with a 248 first gear, you can go with a 210 first gear. The Power Glide's gonna have a longer first gear and only 2 gears. So under here, I mean, I'm looking at RPM transmissions, Rossler transmissions, Abruzzi Racing transmissions, along with all of them for the Glide. They make them both, so I'm not sure what to really go with. I've driven a car with a Power Glide. I really like it. My car's a 400. I also really like that. So this is where I need your help. Rear. Next, this is a big topic here. This is a big, I'd say high dollar item, important piece of the puzzle. We have a straight axle in this car, unlike the Cow, so we're looking for some 60 foots. We're looking to lay the power down early, go wheels up, be exciting, and put down a number. So with that, you're looking at a couple different things. You have a 9-inch, you have a Dana 60, or you have a 12 volt. Now, I'm no expert in rear ends. I know they're all gonna do the job. Some are gonna be lighter than others. Under the 9-inch, you get the Fab 9. Fab 9 is all sheet metal fabricated housing that's lightweight, reinforced. The Dana 60, you can do something similar to it where it's reinforced. The 12 volt, I think it's a little bit heavier and going to stand, I mean, they're all gonna take the power no matter what you do. With the rear end, I'm looking to go something strong. I'm up in the air whether I put a spool or a locker in it because I do wanna drive it on the street a little bit. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to do. A spool is gonna be brutal on the street. The Cow has a locker in it, so when I go around tight corners, it's gonna free up and one tire can spin faster than the other. A spool, you're locked in there. So you go around a tight corner, it's gonna chirp, it's gonna hop, it's gonna bind up. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. This is where I really need your help. Guys, let me know. So let me know what you guys run in your car. I know there's a couple guys out there running the Moser Fab 9. I know Strange Engineering Dana 60 is very nice. A lot of guys run the Midwest chassis stuff. Along with the rear end, we'll put this under the rear end category, you need a couple other things. So there's just a few things you need for the back. You need rear shocks, torque arm, lower control arms, anti-roll bar. Along with that stuff, you need like race brakes and all the other little fittings, some Heim joints, everything like that. Now, there's a number of companies that make complete kits out there for the rear end, which is what I'm like looking to do. You got BMR, you got Spawn, I believe Midwest Chassis has a couple pieces out there as well. And there's a number of different torque arms. For example, the torque arm, you go the long torque arm or short torque arm. That depends on where you're gonna mount it. I need your help. Tell me what you guys think because I have no experience with torque arm stuff. Now, luckily my shop, RPM Motorsports, they are killer at the F-body stuff. So those are the big ticket items there. Transmission, along with that, which I didn't mention, torque converter. I've had really good luck with PTC in the Cow. I'll probably stick with a PTC converter in that, so you're not gonna see me write that down here. So other things, so those are the big ticket items. Another thing that I really want you guys to comment about, wheels, wheel and tire combo. Now, I'll start you off with this. These are the big three that I'm gonna stick with. Billet Specialties, Weld Racing, and Bellick wheels. For those of you guys that don't know, Bellick is kind of real heavily influenced in the import stuff, but he just got into the domestic market. Some pretty badass stuff. Don't go nowhere now. Weld wheels, everyone knows Weld wheels. Billet Specialties, they're pretty sweet. Now, you got some options there, but what I wanna talk about is the width. 15 inches is the diameter we're gonna run with. We're not going with 16, we're not putting a 33-inch tire on there. We're going to go with a 15-inch rim, but we got some options. You wanna go 15 by 10 or 15 by 12. The difference here is pretty much how the tire is going to fit. I'm going to run a 275 Radial Pro just like I do on the Cow, but on a 12-inch rim, you can kind of stretch it out a little bit and get a little bit bigger footprint, which I kind of like that look, but it looks really race car. Now, it's going to tie back into the rear. If you want to run a 12-inch wide rim, you're going to have to narrow the rear a little bit more. Meaning, another thing we have to add over here are mini tubs. So if we go with the nice, fat, wide wheel, we have to narrow the rear and then mini tub the rear. So as you can see, you make one decision, it affects them all. Again, that's why I'm asking for your help. Someone who's done it before, make my life a whole lot easier. So mini tub in the rear, it's not super bad on these vehicles. It opens up the door to a lot of things that you want to do in the future. If you ever want to run a 315 Pro, you will have the room. I personally fall in love with a 12-inch wide rim that has a really big lip. Now if you notice, I run Race Stars on the Cow because I don't want to buy a nice weld wheel and not be able to put any lip on it. If you notice my truck, I got like 7 inches of lip. It's all about that lip. You gotta have a nice fat lip to look good. 12 inches is where I'm going right now. Double bead lock in any of these, I'd be pretty content with. So like I said at the start of this video, we're going over big ticket items. We have a transmission, we got a rear end, we got the rear figured out with a torque arm, shocks and everything, so we got it sitting right. Now we got some wheels on it so we can move it around. I already got the 5.3 in there. I have a drive shaft already. Now what it comes to is engine management. So we have some options here for the engine management. We got a stock ECU, which I did sell, but if I need to get another ECU to run stock ECU, that's really no big deal. You got Fuel Tech, Poly Dominator, which I'd say they're pretty two tough competitors there, and then Motec. I'm not gonna run Motec. That's just, we're gonna put a big X there. Nothing against them. I just don't know them. I don't have anyone to tune them. The Fuel Tech stuff is brand new. They push that stuff really hard. The installs on it, I've seen, I don't know if you guys know who Michael Bunton is, but he is a pretty fast 275 racer. He has a shop and he does a lot of this Fuel Tech installs. His stuff is badass. And the Holley Dominator is pretty sweet because what I plan to do, and the same for the Fuel Tech, but when you have that engine management system, you don't need other boxes. So you don't need a two-step box. You don't need a nitrous controller. Everything gets run through the Holley. Plus, with both of these options right here, digital dash. As you guys know, I got rid of my dash. So I don't have a dash. Digital dash, it gives me everything I need to. Plus, it's like high tech. It brings this Trans Am from the mid-90s all the way up to 2018, like pow, just like that. No longer mullets and jean jackets. We got a digital dash. So I'm gonna cancel out the stock ECU because I don't feel like buying another one. I don't want to buy a harness. They're expensive, but they're very good. So that pretty much covers the big meat and potatoes of the build. This is where I need your help. I give you guys some options: transmission, rear end, what suspension, wheels and tires, and what engine management. I'm not gonna tell you where the end goal with this car is, but I mean, a Trans Am with twin turbos. Enough said, I'm not gonna talk about it. I hope you guys are typing away in the comments below. I do appreciate all your input. I'm super excited about this. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Not a lot of action, but I whipped this thing up late at night, so bear with me here. The most important news, I would say, for those of you guys watching this channel, and I've got a lot of DMs and a lot of comments, is tomorrow I will be taking the engine out of the cow. Everyone's been waiting for that. We're gonna see the carnage. I'm gonna show you guys what it is. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'd most likely know what it is. But other than that, I want to thank you guys for watching. Support the Salty Chicken build by going down in the description and buying you a Cowmaro t-shirt. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time.